Um, Hello everyone. I think I am audible to all of you. Okay, please do some comments. Okay, sorry, I am not able to find anyone. Wait, going live in few minutes. Wait. Kitty. ओके हाँ ठीक है. हेलो हेलो एवरीवन. ओके हाँ. Hi everyone. I am Dr. Vikas Yadav, the teacher of City International School, and going to explain some basic concepts of organic chemistry. Now, the question is that the first question is that what is organic chemistry? Anyone can answer this question? What is organic chemistry? Okay, I am waiting. Please do some comments. Good morning, Tushar. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So the question is, what is organic chemistry? Now, the answer of this question is that the chemistry of hydrocarbons and their derivatives is called organic chemistry. The chemistry of hydrocarbons and their derivatives is called organic chemistry. Now, the second question arises here, what are hydrocarbons? What are hydrocarbons? Anyone can explain hydrocarbons? Please write hydrocarbons. I am waiting. Okay, Tushar, hello. Anubhav Shukla, hello, good morning. Bhumi, good morning. Okay. So anyone can answer this question, what are hydrocarbons? Pratyush, hi. Okay. Now, the hydrocarbons, the compound which have carbon and hydrogen in it and their derivatives are called hydrocarbons. Okay. Examples like methane, which is also known as biogas, propane, butane, which are also the constituent gases of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, benzene, toluene, etc. They are all organic compounds. Some medicines, almost all medicines, cloths, आपके आसपास के utensils, everything जो है वो they are organic compounds. There are some compounds of carbon that are not classified as organic compound, such as metal carbonates like sodium carbonate, calcium carbonate, and some metal cyanides. Metal cyanides like HCN, NaCN, KCN, etc. Now we shall discuss about the origin of organic chemistry. The first thing I shall describe that vital force theory. Vital force theory. Before going on this theory, I want to ask you that what separates living organisms from non-living organisms? Anything which is used to separate living from non-living things in the term of chemistry. Can anyone answer this? Okay, Tushar, nice answer. Hydrogen containing connecting carbon compounds. Okay, good. So the next question is, what separates living organisms from non-living ones? Okay, the answer is many scientists have exploring these questions for many years, and the definition have changed throughout the year. At one point, it was found that living organisms were used to define organic and inorganic compounds. हम लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स की हेल्प से ऑर्गेनिक और इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स को क्या करते हैं, डिफाइन करते हैं. Those compounds which are obtained from living organisms are called organic compounds, and those compounds which are obtained from non-living things are called inorganic compounds. The vital force theory supposed that living organisms could create organic compounds from non-organic substances like water and carbon dioxide. And this was the only way for organic compounds to be created. Okay, to be created. This theory was proposed by, the vital force theory was proposed by Berzelius in 1815. According to him, according to vital force theory, organic compounds cannot be made in laboratory from inorganic compounds. They are synthesized within the body of living organisms like plants and animals. The synthesis of organic compounds requires a vital force. A vital force means the force which is created by God, with the force which is created by some mysterious mysterious forces, mysterious powers. And this was believed that only living organisms contain this vital force, because living organisms are made by God. So the only living organisms have this power to synthesize organic compounds. Shilpi ma'am, good morning. Pratyush, good morning. Sanjay ji, good morning. Yogita ma'am and Kamla ma'am, thank you so much. Drishti. Now, तो वाइटल फोर्स के बारे में हम और भी क्या चीज बता सकते हैं? डू यू नो व्हाट इज द वाइटल फोर्स? वाइटल फोर्स क्या है? तो अभी जैसा कि मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया, दैट इज द फोर्स विच इज क्रिएटेड बाय सम मिस्टीरियस फोर्सेस, मिस्टीरियस पावर्स. The mysterious powers around us is God. Okay, so those forces which are created by God are called vital force, and the vital force are responsible for the synthesis of organic compounds in living organisms. Now, however, in 1828, the German scientist Wohler synthesized an organic compound urea with the help of some inorganic components, ammonium chloride and potassium cyanide. Ammonium chloride and potassium cyanide, when reacts with each other, they form ammonium cyanate and potassium chloride. Ammonium cyanate again on heating gives rearrangement reaction, and the urea is formed by this reaction. This is the first organic compound which is synthesized in lab without any vital force. Without any vital force. I want to show the reaction of this. मैंने ये कुछ बनाकर रखा हुआ है. एक मिनट मैं थोड़ा सा चेक कर लूँ. हाँ, this one. The reaction of ammonium cyanate is NH4CNO. NH4CNO is ammonium cyanate. When it is heated, it gives rearrangement reaction and gives urea, NH2CONH2. NH2CONH2 is the first organic compound which is synthesized in lab by Wohler. Okay, now the next is, initially it was not accepted by other scientists, because the vital force is not only the force which is required to synthesize the organic compounds, because no one was ready to listen against God's power. और ऐसा हम सभी लोग जानते हैं कि गॉड्स के आगे, रिलीजन के आगे कोई भी सुनने को तैयार नहीं होता है. इन जनरल भी रिलीजन जो होता है वो लोगों को ब्लाइंड करता है. Later on, it was supported by Kolbe by the synthesis and preparation of acetic acid from its initial constituents, constituent elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, etc. The formula of acetic acid is CH3COOH. It is also known as vinegar. Similarly, it was also supported by Berthollet by synthesizing methane from its initial components carbon and hydrogen. By this way, so-called vital force theory was kicked out and no was more accepted. No was more accepted. Nowadays, large number of compounds are formed. Large number of organic compounds are synthesized in different labs of this world. Properties. Now, the next topic is properties of carbon. Properties of carbon. Now, we will discuss about some properties of carbon. Do you know any property of carbon? Do you know anything about carbon? Please, आप मुझे थोड़ा सा explain करें सभी, थोड़ा सा comment box में लिखें. Do you know about carbon? Okay, I am waiting. तब तक मैं messages देख लेता हूँ. शिल्पी मैम, thank you so much. Aviral, thank you. And Louis Hijacker, wow, what a good name. Kamla ma'am, thank you so much. And Ankur sir, thank you. Sauradayal, thank you. Pranjal, thank you. Yogita ma'am, Shurbi ma'am, Kamla ma'am. हाँ, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन आप सभी लोग ध्यान रखिएगा कि tell me something about carbon. Sanjay Singh, Pratyush, thank you. Ashutosh sir, Mratyunjay, okay, thank you so much. Okay, हाँ, tetravalency, good. Tetravalency, chain formation, catenation, nice. Okay, now I am going to start from basic. Okay, carbon is the sixth element of periodic table. It has 6 electrons and 6 protons present in its nucleus. We can see this in this figure. मैंने एक फिगर और भी बनाया हुआ है बेटा, जिसको मैं दिखाकर आपको बता सकता हूँ कि कार्बन का एक्चुअल में स्ट्रक्चर किस तरह से दिखता है. This is the structure. This is the Lewis-Dot structure of carbon, in which 6 protons and 6 neutrons are present in the nucleus of carbon, and 2 electrons are present in K shell, and 4 electrons are present in L shell. The shells are started with the letters K and L. Do you know about K and L? K is stand for Cossel, and L is stand for Lewis. Okay, and इसके बाद जो है हमारे जो shells हैं वो alphabetically start हो जाते हैं, K, L, M, N. Okay, so Shilpi ma'am answered carbon dioxide is CO2, and Tushar Bhatt is saying that 4 valenced electrons. Yes, nice Tushar. In this structure we can also see that 4 electrons in L shell. These 4 electrons are called valence shell because the outermost shell of carbon is called valence shell. The valency of carbon therefore is 4. Now, okay. Now what मैंने क्या बोला? There are 6 क्या बोल रहा था? Sorry. हाँ, तो there are 6 protons. There are 6 protons and 6 electrons present in the nucleus of carbon, and 6 electrons are present outside the nucleus as 2 electrons in K shell and 4 electrons in L shell. So the valency of carbon is 4. Since the carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell and needs to gain or lose 4 electrons to attain noble gas configuration. हम सभी जानते हैं कि हर every element wants to stable and he is going to stable by accepting or losing electrons. Okay. So carbon has 4 electrons. Since the carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell, so it requires how many electrons? 4 electrons to complete its octet and attain the electronic configuration of neon, or lose 4 electrons to attain the electronic configuration of helium. Now, what will happen if it gain or lose electrons? It is possible for carbon to donate gain or electrons completely. कार्बन के लिए ऐसा क्या पॉसिबल है कि वो अपने चारों इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे दे या 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन कहीं से ले ले? इट इज पॉसिबल. ओके, प्लीज कोई भी आंसर दे सकता है. एनीवन कैन आंसर दिस प्लीज. आई एम वेटिंग. इट इज पॉसिबल फॉर कार्बन टू डोनेट और गेन 4 electrons completely. Anyone, please. Okay. Now I am going to answer this. No, it is not possible for carbon to gain or lose 4 electrons. Why? What is the reason behind this? The first is if it will gain 4 electrons from to form carbon -4, कार्बन और उस पर चार्ज कैसा रहेगा -4. If it will gain 4 electrons from carbon -4, then it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 protons to hold these 10 electrons, यानी 4 extra electrons. And if it will lose 4 electrons to form carbon +4, then it would require a large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons, leaving behind a carbon cation with 6 protons in its nucleus holding on to just 2 electrons. It is very difficult and requires a large amount of energy, and that energy is called ionization energy. Do you know about ionization energy? It is the energy required to remove one or more electron from the valence shell of an element from gaseous isolated element to form it cation. So ionization energy, to remove 4 electrons from the valence shell of carbon atoms, it requires large amount of ionization energy, which is not possible in the case of carbon. Now, another question arises here: what does carbon do to overcome this problem? कार्बन क्या करता है? अगर वो 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज नहीं कर पा रहा है, 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो फिर उसके पास कौन सी पॉसिबिलिटी होती है जिससे वो इस प्रॉब्लम को ओवरकम कर सकता है? कैन एनीवन आंसर दिस? प्लीज, आई एम वेटिंग. Okay. I am going to answer this. Carbon overcomes this problem by sharing of its valence electron. By sharing, not by gaining or losing electrons. Okay? The valence electron will, so the carbon overcomes this problem by sharing of its valence electron with other atoms of carbon or with other atoms of other elements like hydrogen, chlorine, sulfur, nitrogen, etc. We can see the formation of methane molecule in which carbon has formed 4 covalent bonds. I can also have a structure of methane. This is the structure of methane, in which carbon forms 4 covalent bonds with hydrogen atom. They are single bonds, and single bond means there are 2 electrons shared by 2 different elements. We can see in this figure, carbon shared 1 electron with hydrogen atom, and hydrogen can also share its 1 electron with carbon. There are 4 bonds present in between carbon and hydrogen. The electron of carbon is represented by dot, and the electron of hydrogen is represented by cross. So we can see here, every atom of hydrogen has 2 electrons in its circle. So it completes this duplet like helium-like structure. But in the case of there are 8 electrons in its shell, in its circle, means it has complete octet structure, complete octet. So due to this method, the carbon becomes stable and hydrogen atoms are also becomes stable. Reason? क्योंकि octet पूरा हो गया, duplet complete हो गया. What is octet? What is octet? Okay. Now, आप लोग बताइएगा ऑक्टेट क्या है, तब तक मैं आगे चलता हूं. Next is, now the next topic is allotropic forms of carbon. Allotropic forms of carbon. Do you know about allotropes? Anyone know about allotropes? Okay, I am waiting. तब तक मैं आंसर दे देता हूं. अर्चित सर थैंक यू, मोहिनी मैम थैंक यू, प्रांजल थैंक यू, तुषार थैंक यू, ओके, आशुतोष सर थैंक यू. कार्बन इज ब्लैक इन कलर, ओके. कमला मैम थैंक यू सो मच. वैलेंसीज 4 मेक्स 4 कोवलेंट बॉन्ड्स. अतुल सर थैंक यू. लुइस हाइजेकर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. अनुभव थैंक यू. विवेक थैंक यू. अविरल थैंक यू. प्रत्युष, दिया प्रकाश, अंकित तिवारी, प्रत्युष सिन्हा, तब इज ऑल थैंक यू. हाँ, लुइस हाइजेकर, द टोटल एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड इज टू मच टू डू सो. ये लुइस हाइजेकर, आई डोंट नो हिम. भविष्य वर्मा, सौर्य दयाल, कमला मैम, तुषार, थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू एवरीवन. There are so many comments. I will reply after this live session. Thank you. Now, the topic was allotropes of carbon. So what are allotropes? Allotropes क्या? Allotropes of the different forms of an element in which the elements exist in nature. The element carbon occurs in different forms in nature with different physical properties. Yogita ma'am, thank you. 8 electrons in its valence shell after formation of bond with hydrogen. These forms of carbon are called allotropic forms. The different forms of carbon in which the carbon exists in nature are called allotropic forms of carbon. The allotropic forms of carbon are diamond, graphite, fullerene and graphene. The latest one is graphene. Okay, they are all the purest form of carbon. No other elements are present there in their structure. The difference in these allotropic forms lie in the manner in which the carbon atoms are bonded to one another. If we see in diamond, each carbon atom is bonded with 4 other carbon atoms and form a rigid 3-dimensional structure. In graphite, each carbon atom is bonded with 3 other carbon atoms in the same plane, giving hexagonally arranged sheet-like structure. Sheet-like, this तरह से hexagonally arranged sheet-like structure, and fullerene exists in football-like structure. Soccer ball-like structure or football-like structure, which is formed by 2 types of rings: hexagonal rings and pentagonal rings. The fullerene is discovered by Buckminster, so it is also known as Buckminster fullerene. Graphene has a sheet-like structure formed by hexagonal rings of carbon atoms only, and the graphene is responsible for flexible LED sheets. Now आजकल के जो नए फोन्स हैं उनमें आप फ्लेक्सिबल शीट्स का देख रहे होंगे, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसमें ग्राफीन का यूज हो रहा है. Nowadays, large number of organic compounds are known, and every year large number of new organic compounds have been searched or discovered. During my research time, I have completed my doctorate from Lucknow University, and during my research time I have synthesized 24 new compounds. 24 new compounds which are biologically active. They give antifungal activity. Antifungal activity against what was the fungal infection? Candida. I don't know, मुझे याद नहीं रहा है अब, काफ़ी टाइम हो गया मुझे ये सब देखे हुए. Next, now, what is the reason behind the large number of carbon compounds and to make the different branch of organic chemistry? Why does carbon form a large number of compounds? Does it has any special property? आपको ये एक्सप्लेन, आपको ये बताएंगे कि क्या प्रॉपर्टी है कार्बन की जिसकी वजह से उसके इतने ढेर सारे कंपाउंड्स हैं, लार्ज नंबर ऑफ कंपाउंड्स हैं, और एक अलग ब्रांच को बनाना उसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया. दैट इज ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. Organic chemistry is a separate branch of carbon compounds in which we will study about hydrocarbons and their derivatives. So what is the property of carbon which is responsible for the large number of carbon compounds? You know that approx 1 million new organic compounds have been searched every year. Every year approx 1 million new compounds are searched. Okay. Now I am going to explain this. Carbon has some special properties. Carbon has the property of catenation. The most important property of carbon is catenation, due to which carbon can form a long chain of carbon atoms. Long chain. For example, polythene. Polythene is the polymer of carbon. Ethene, polymer of ethene, in which approx 1 million or more carbon atoms are arranged in a chain form. The carbon compounds may have long chain form of carbons, branch chain भी हो सकता है, cyclic structure हो सकता है, और ring forms. In addition of this, carbon atoms may be linked by single bond. Carbon can form single bond, carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon double bond, and carbon-carbon triple bond. This gives us the large number of compounds with many carbon atoms links to each other. Since carbon has the valency of 4, so it is also capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon and other atoms of some other elements. It can also form bonds with oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine and other elements, to giving rise a large number of compounds with specific properties, with special properties. Okay, so the most important property of carbon to form large number of compound is catenation and tetravalency. Thank you अंकित तिवारी, you are my best student. और अच्छा है बेटा, मैं जानता हूँ कि ये सब चीज़ें अब आप लोगों को बहुत अच्छे से आती होंगी. Thank you अंकित. Now, saturated and unsaturated carbon. Do you know about saturated and unsaturated carbons? Okay, I am waiting the answer, and I am going to reply some messages. तब तक आप सभी लोग reply. What are saturated and unsaturated carbon? Good, Ankit. Now, कमला मैम कैटिनेशन, वाओ आप भी केमिस्ट्री काफ़ी अच्छी आती है. आस्था मिश्रा मैम सेल्फ लिंकेज, नाइस. अविरल पांडे टेट्रावेलेंसी, कैटिनेशन, वाओ आस्था मैम आपकी केमिस्ट्री भी काफ़ी अच्छी है. गुड. लुइस हाईजेकर टेट्रावेलेंसी, तुषार भट्ट थैंक यू. प्रत्युष कैटिनेशन, आस्था मैम थैंक यू सो मच. Neeta Sinha, if the outer shell have 8 electrons, then we say that it had completed its octet. Wow, Neeta ma'am, thank you so much. Nice answer. And Shaur Dayal, 8 electron in its valence cell, able to connect, studied in class 10. Okay, ma'am. Tushar, thank you. Riddhima ma'am, thank you so much. And Pratyush, thank you. Okay, Yogita ma'am, Tushar Bhatt, Aviral, Kamla ma'am. Thank you everyone. Now, Harsh. Sir, they will give different colors of flame. Okay. Harsh Kaun, thoda refine your answer please. Saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. Which type of flames? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Akriti. She is my wife. Saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay, Astha ma'am, single bond saturated, double bond unsaturated. Thank you, Astha ma'am. And now I am going to explain saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. The hydrocarbons or molecule which contain hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms are bonded with each other are classified into two categories. These two major categories are saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons, which make up organic compounds, have distinct characteristics based on their further classification. The first one is alkanes. The saturated hydrocarbon, which is categorized as alkane. Okay, Kamla ma'am, single bonds are saturated, double and triple bond are unsaturated. Good answer, ma'am. And Neeta Sinha, single bond saturated, double bond unsaturated. Ma'am, triple bond also unsaturated hydrocarbons. The compounds which have triple bond are also unsaturated. Okay, Pratyush Sinha, bromine water test. It is helpful for testing of unsaturation in organic compounds. Bromine water is used to determine the compound is either saturated or unsaturated. Okay, good. Cl2 एडिशन रिएक्शन. ओके, Cl2 एडिशन रिएक्शन से सर उसमें क्योंकि हम कलर का आइडेंटिफिकेशन नहीं कर पाते तो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है उससे आइडेंटिफाई करना. द सिंपल मेथड टू आइडेंटिफाई सैचुरेटेड एंड अनसैचुरेटेड हाइड्रोकार्बन्स इज ब्रोमीन वाटर. ओके, नाउ द हाइड्रोकार्बन्स, आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट एल्केन्स. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons which have carbon-carbon single bonds only, and typically follow the formula CnH2n plus 2. Means the number of hydrogen atoms are double plus 2 than that of carbon atoms. If the molecule has one carbon atom, then then its alkanes, the first alkane formula is, formula of first alkane is CH4. The another alkane of this series is C2H6. If the carbon number is 2, then the hydrogen number is double plus 2. Matlab 2 to the 4 plus 2 means 6. So C2H6 is the molecular formula of ethane, which is example of alkane. In this category, we can also explain some different compounds like methane, ethane, propane, butane. All the compounds have ane as a suffix in alkane series. Now, the second category is alkene. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons that contain at least one carbon-carbon double bond, and have the general formula CnH2n. There are double number of carbon atoms than that of there are double number of hydrogen atoms than that of carbon atoms. If the carbon atoms are 2, there are carbon atoms are 2, and then the hydrogen will be 4. If the carbon atom present, in the molecule carbon atoms are there are carbon atoms, the number of carbon atoms is 5, then the hydrogen number will be 10. In alkenes, the hydrogen numbers are just double than that of carbon atoms. The third one is alkynes. This category of hydrocarbon is also categorized under unsaturated hydrocarbons. And these hydrocarbons have at least one carbon-carbon triple bond and have the general formula CnH2n minus 2. That is, the number of hydrogen atoms are double minus 2 than that of carbon atoms. The first compound of this series is acetylene or ethyne, C2H2. Okay, now I am going to discuss some importance of organic chemistry in our life. This one is the last topic of this video and this live session. Importance of organic chemistry. Do you know about some importance of organic chemistry in our life? Can anyone give some example of importance of organic chemistry? Okay, I am waiting. Please give some importance of organic chemistry in our life. Okay, now Shilpi ma'am saying no, good. Louis Hijacker saying medicine, nice, good. And absolutely clueless, no problem ma'am, I will discuss about this. Kamla ma'am, soap, nice. कौन सा soap? Dove. Okay. Detergents, good. Or okay. Fertilizers, nice. Urea is a fertilizer, which is the first organic compound synthesized in lab. Okay, Neeta ma'am, thank you. Okay, now I am going to explain some importance of organic chemistry. Organic chemistry plays a vital or important role in our daily life, because the existence of living life is not possible without organic compounds. It is because organic compounds are present in different type of substances which we have used in our daily life. The first one is food. The most important one is food. Okay. No, Louis Hijacker, H2CO3 is not an organic compound, because in this compound the carbon is connected with hydrogen, not with directly connected with oxygen and not with hydrogen. Our body itself made up of organic compounds. Nice, Sanjay sir. So the most important substance of in the importance of organic chemistry, under the heading of importance of organic chemistry, is food. Food is mainly composed of organic compounds like carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, proteins. They all are organic compounds. The pulses we have eat, the rice we have eat, and the bread we have eaten, that they are all contains organic compounds. They all contain organic compounds. Next, the second one is cloths. Fiber which are used to clothing are composed of organic compounds. Like this curtain is made from nylon. Nylon is also organic compound. These flowers are made by some plastic materials. They are also organic compounds. Terylene is also organic compounds. Bakelite is also organic compounds. Okay. Some blended mixtures like terylene with cotton. The mixture of terylene with cotton, they are called blended mixtures, or is called terrycot. Everyone know about terrycot. Terrycot जिसके आप लोग कपड़े, shirts और ये सब बनाते हैं. तो terrycot is the mixture of, या blended mixture of terylene and cotton. Thank you Sunita ma'am. Thank you so much. And Global Education and Training, Getty, thank you for nice comment. The next one is medicine. All medicines are composed of organic compound like analgesics, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, insecticides, pesticides. यहाँ तक कि आप घरों में जो ऑल आउट यूज कर रहे हैं, मॉर्टिन यूज कर रहे हैं, they are all organic compounds. Some household items like plastic wares, curtains, cookwares, non-stick cookwares, brushes, combs, wire coatings, fiber glasses, lenses, they are all organic compounds. All organic compounds. The lenses of my spectacles, the lenses of goggles, which are very lightweighted, they are also made from organic compound. This lens is made from PMMA. A polymer is PMMA. PMMA stands for polymethyl methacrylate. The handles of utensils are made from bakelite. The switches which are used in electrical on-off switches which are used in electrical boards are also made from organic compounds, bakelite. The non-breakable crockery which is also made from organic compound, melamine. Okay, this polymer, the polymer PMMA is also used in multi-story buildings in the place of glasses and tiles to reduce the weight on pillars. तो we can say that कि हम अपनी लाइफ में हर तरफ से, जैसा कि हमारी शिल्पी मैम ने बोला है, जैसा कि मैम तुषार बोल रहे हैं, कि तुषार जो मेरा स्टूडेंट है वो कह रहे हैं कि जो ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड से कहीं ना कहीं हम हर तरफ से, फ्रॉम एवरी साइड वी आर कवर्ड विद ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स. बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स हैं जो कि बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं हमारी लाइफ में. थैंक यू सो मच. मुझे लगता है कि आप सभी को मेरा ये सेशन जो है वो पसंद आया होगा और आई होप कि आप सभी जो है इसको वॉच करेंगे. मेरे सारे स्टूडेंट इसको बाद में भी देखेंगे जो अभी तक लाइव सेशन में प्रेजेंट नहीं हुए हैं. एंड थैंक यू सो मच सुनीता मैम. थैंक यू गेटी for providing this fantastic opportunity to me, and thank you everyone for watching my video. Thank you so much.